Hey guys, so welcome back. So today we're back on our vlog. Today I've been invited to speak at the Property Investors Award show that they're doing in the Excel London. So literally I'm going to talk about what it takes to become a winner. So I know you guys have seen me win an award, and this event is literally summarising, I guess, what has it taken for us winners, not just myself. So we've got Ian Morton, we've got the Savoy brothers, Mal, Kit and Sanjay, both all attending. So let's just talk about what it takes to become a winner. It's definitely a place to get yourself to. Property Investor Show, they do it every single year. Literally all the people in the property industry turn up to this event to kind of market themselves, whether it's education companies, whether it's services, solicitors, whatever, property related, this is the place to be. I remember coming here pretty much I think 4 or 5 years ago when I was starting out, kind of just testing the waters, kind of getting to kind of find information. This is where I came to. So a great place to kind of get yourself involved in. If you've never been, definitely worth checking it out. But we're going to go inside and show you what inside looks like anyways, to kind of get a feel of what it has to offer. And if it's for you, definitely get yourself involved. So guys, this is the Property Investor Show. We're going to quickly get ourselves registered to get the lanyards, and then we're going to go inside and then we'll get to show you what inside looks like. Yeah, so guys, so this is Mal, Kit and Sanjay there. You don't mind jumping the shot?
I'll jump in the shot. How you doing, guys?
How you doing, guys? These are some of my property guys that I'm kind of banging on about in my videos, so finally put places for you guys. Obviously today we're doing a talk in a sec for the Property Investor Awards show. Just kind of document a bit of that as well. Hopefully should be a good turnout, we'll see.
Yeah, should be. Absolutely, yeah. Slowly but surely we'll get that.
No, it'll be fine, but do you want to tell guys what you're up to, what you guys do normally in London as well?
Yeah, sure. So Malky and Sanjay from Savoy's, both of us have been in property for the past 20 years. We're actually our 2-year anniversary of setting up Savoy's today. But yeah, so
It doesn't feel like it's that long ago. Like, I know during COVID, but yeah.
So we set it up during COVID and we were doing all the clubhouse sessions together.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah, HMO specialists and commercial raising specialists.
What are you doing here?
But anyways, I'm excited to see what it's about, and I don't know what questions we're going to ask about.
You're going to ask everything you know, man, so you'll be fine, don't worry.
Okay, folks, welcome. Okay, so what we're looking at today, of course, is that secret sauce, what makes an award-winning developer or investor, and why these guys have won the award. So what I'm going to ask you guys is, I'm going to start with Alfred here. I'm going to ask all of you, really, just to stand up and just say a little bit about what you won the award for, and a little bit about what you do. And I also want to ask you, why you think you won it? Why you, as opposed to, so what you won the award for, yeah, and then why do you think it was given to you?
Alright, so stop.
Yeah, stand up and...
Hey guys, so my name's Alfred Dzadey. So I'm a property investor based in the West Midlands, mainly focused on HMOs. So I won the category, I was actually finalist for 2 categories. New Property Investor of the Year and the Young Property Investor of the Year 2021. And I won the New Property Investor of the Year 2021. The reason why I think I won it, I think I've got a great social media presence in terms of what I do in terms of the HMO projects, kind of showcasing from start to finish, allowing people to kind of look at what it takes to kind of take a building from a normal house into a finished product, which is a luxury home for either young professionals or students, and kind of document the struggles as well, not just the good bits. It's all good kind of showing what goes well, but you want to kind of show, like, for example, there was a time where I had to raise investment of 120 grand a week of completion because the investors fell out and I had to replace them. So kind of showing that, talking about the journey of how I actually still managed to get a deal with the line and what it took to overcome that. So I think the biggest attribute, I think, is kind of inspiring people and showing what's possible. And I think that's kind of what's led to me winning the New Property Investor of the Year 2021. So, yeah.
Morning routine, anything special?
Yeah, so morning routine, so I am a morning person. I think as well, just to add, obviously some people work better in the evening, so you have to understand yourself what works better for you. But myself, I do love the morning. For me, I'm alert in the morning, my best work is done in the morning. So I am an early one, pretty much. So when I used to work back in the corporate days, because I wanted to kind of still be able to do the property development stuff and learn, I used to wake up quite early. I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So I'd go to the gym, start my day, get home, shower, change, get into work at 7, and then that would allow me to leave work as early as possible, which I think is around 3:30, 4 o'clock. But now, it is a bit more flexible. I kind of still go into the gym early. Varies depending on what happened last night. But generally speaking, by 6 latest, I'd hope to have been in the gym, if not even done already. And then again, go back home. But this time around, I'm going in. So I do journal quite a lot. So kind of, because again, there's a lot going on. To get clarity in what it is you want to do and achieve, I think you have to kind of, every day, in my opinion, see it, write out, and not just kind of type out whatever. I do like to kind of just go through my thinking process. Okay, what needs doing? What are my goals? What activities am I doing today that's going to lead me closer to my goals? So for me, journaling is massive in the morning to kind of get clarity on the whole day, and just to keep me focused on what he's doing and achieving that day.
That's interesting. It actually brings me nicely onto my next question, which was, in the last 50 years, more than half UK Prime Ministers actually wrote that down, being Prime Minister, as a goal. They wrote it down as a goal pretty much in their early 20s, and they set about their life to achieve it. So what I wanted to ask you guys is whether goal setting, whether short-term, medium-term, long-term, how important it is for you and how you bring that to your business game. Who wants to just...
I'm not Ian.
Help me out with that one.
So I think the market at the moment, I'm sure everybody serious about buying property this year anyways, is quite crazy in the sense people are kind of willing to pay above odds. So I think in 2022 people have got to get creative in terms of how they source deals. I think deal pipeline this year has been crazy in the sense anything on the market comes and pretty much goes. Agents aren't low, so anybody know more, or they're still out there but they aren't at the same time, because literally they'd rather just wait it out and let someone else who's coming into the market pay above the odds, and also they get higher commission. So right now at the moment, I've had relationships with agents I've done deals with in the past, and they're kind of saying like, Alfred, look, this guy's going to pay X amount more. I know you're good for it, but if he's going to pay for it and he's good for it as well, we'll go with him, obviously. So I think right now, I think the only way to, well, not the only way, one of the ways to try and secure deals is trying to get direct to vendor in some shape or form, whether it's leafleting, whether it's targeted in terms of mail to that particular address or to the owner, to try and get direct to the vendors, to try and do a deal where you're not even paying above the odds. So for example, I've got a deal secured, it's direct to vendor, and it came through, this was, I think it's fortunate, it was next to one of my previous projects. And I know, for example, if I was to just pass that on to somebody, I could probably just pocket 60, 70 grand, because in today's market it's worth a lot more. But they agreed it and they're not really interested in, I don't think they even care. They just want this price for it, and I'm offering them that price. But I need to put that on the market, didn't do a single thing, I'm easily getting 70 grand above. So I think trying to get direct to vendor for sure, this needs to be a part of your strategy this year. I'm sure these guys will probably talk about commercial and other things. So there's other opportunities, but for me, deal sourcing.
Make sure you exchange before the video comes out.
Make sure.
Exchange before the video comes out.
Wait, is it done deal? Is it done deal? Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good.
So challenges, how are you adapting your game?
In terms of obviously being recognised by Property Investor Awards as a successful investor / developer. In terms of conversations with raising finance, it's definitely kind of just put me in a, I guess, in a different category, if you want to call it that. So definitely, obviously, winning the award does help with business. I think one thing I would say as well is, because I document pretty much everything I do in terms of day-to-day projects, whatever, I think it's actually quite inspired quite a lot of the younger guys as well to kind of aspire to win the award, which is good as well. So, because before that, I think people obviously have known about it, but I guess seeing me winning it, they're now seeing it as possible. Because again, well, I'm not to say it's an easy award to win, but it's definitely a challenging one. But me obviously being able to do it, I think that people think, oh, in the mindset, see Denzel there, he's young, I know him from Instagram, he's probably going to aspire to try and win this at a point in his career. So definitely I'd say go for it. It's helped create opportunities as well in terms of getting into magazines like what Mark was saying, to get recognised in the industry mainly. So yeah.
And when people, I mean, this is going to be up on YouTube and Property Investor Show website and everything, and people applying for this year's awards will be probably watching this as part of their due diligence. So give them a tip. Give them a tip. If someone's watching this and they're thinking about putting a deal that they've done forward, Any tips that you'd like? Are you going to compete this year and you don't want to give out any tips? I mean, be generous, please. Give your number one tip to people watching this of what they need to do to be successful.
Having an amazing project, not just from like, I guess, aesthetics in terms of how interior design has been done. I think the numbers obviously weighs quite heavily in terms of how well the project went. I think having a social impact could be something that can allow you to win the award. It depends. Obviously, it could be a social impact in terms of inspiring people. It could be a social impact of a good cause, which helps other people as well. These are things that can sway the judges. But honestly, I think numbers are probably the top.
The brown envelopes.
Not that. No, not those kind of numbers. But trying to find a project where you've been creative, you've seen something different to what a normal person would see. That's where I feel like those are the creative and that allows you to unlock winning an award in a category.
So, as I said, the closing date for nominations this year is 30th of July for people to get their nominations in. So we're going to do a couple of audience questions. Who has a...
As we all know, you've all had a good journey in your property career, but what's been your biggest obstacles or lessons and how did you overcome them?
I mean, there's several things that happen that goes wrong during your property investment journey. I think more time is usually around the development. You might have thought you might have an GDP value of X amount, and obviously markets change on the back end. I guess trying to mitigate that is obviously having different exit strategies around that. I think one that I can personally speak about is, I think my biggest challenge has probably been raising finance last minute. And I kind of briefly mentioned at the beginning as well, where I had to literally raise 120 grand on the week of completion because two other investors were going to back me on it. For whatever reason, decided they weren't going to do any more. So it was just kind of tackling the problem. Literally was like Sunday night, Monday morning, it's like, now, okay, who can I call? Who can I pick up the phone to potentially help fix the problem? So obviously positioning myself as someone that can obviously provide a value proposition to the individual I'm speaking to try and unlock the lending. So I wasn't shy. I think being under pressure, for me personally, I know I can perform under pressure. The best comes out of you when I'm under pressure. So for me, yes, it was a challenging time, but I knew, again, coming back to journaling, that morning I was like, okay, cool, Alfred, what are you going to do? Who are you going to speak to? Wrote a few names down, go on the phone and just go through the phone book, really, and just see who can be of help. So I think you've got to be able to be solution oriented and not let the problem bring you down or stop you moving forward. So that's one personal one I've had to overcome and I've managed to do it. So,
This is the last question.
So it's going, I'm just adding on to the question earlier about finding the right mentor. How would you go about finding the right mentor? What would you use, for example, if you're in a strong position, there's lots of people, there's a lot of sharks out there that appear as mentors. So how can you avoid them and find the right person who's genuine?
I've probably had loads of mentors. I think the mentoring thing and finding someone, I don't think title mentor and all that stuff. For me, the way I see the mentor was to kind of find someone that resonated the most. I've got to see it as like in effect a friend. All my mentors I've become friends with, in effect. So don't look at it as this person who's at this place and I'm trying to get their attention. It's more about, I think most of my mentors, I approach them, kind of just build rapport, see what they're like, kind of get to know a bit more. Not just based on their experience, but experience doesn't know anything I need from you. I think I need to be able to see that you can drive me or that I'm willing to listen to you. So I'll get that through a conversation with that person. So I think just be open and just speak to people and just see who you resonate. And again, you don't have to necessarily pick someone who's miles ahead of you. Obviously, they've got experience and probably will be able to advise better. But I think there is a benefit in mainly finding someone who's a few steps ahead of you, in the sense they're still kind of closer to where you are, whereas guys who potentially gone and done several things might be too far advanced, and maybe the nitty-gritty stuff that you're kind of going through in your current journey, they might not be as relatable. They've done it in the past, don't get me wrong, but the market changes, things move. So again, just think about it. There's no right or wrong. But I think for me, the biggest thing was being relatable to the person. If I can relate to the person, there's more likelihood of me taking action as well. So that's what I would say to try to find a mentor.
Can we give a round of applause to Ranjan first?
Yes, so the talks are done. I hope you guys enjoyed that and got some value out of that as well. So we're going to quickly go around all the stalls and just see what's going on, network with some people, ask a few questions, and then yeah, we'll just see how the day goes really. So let's go. Yeah.
How have you found that?
It's been alright. I think I've always leveraged a team. So like, even like getting development finance, I just literally use my build team to unlock the development finance. Because the lender's going to ask you what's your experience. Yeah. And if you've got zero experience doing a large development or whatever development you're doing, then it's kind of okay, who's in your team? Who's actually going to do the refurb? And what's their CV like? So if you can demonstrate that they've done several projects similar to the one you're about to do, they're more comfortable allowing you to get the lending.
Even at 100%, if there's enough.
So no lender will. I know you kind of talk about getting.
No, that's isn't it?
They won't.
Everyone says that, but it never happens.
Generally speaking, on developments, we're talking about 70% loan to value, and obviously even that can get a bit lower based on the interest to take offers and everything. Yeah. But your broker can explain to you how that model works. But even if you talk about 75%, after you kind of minus the interest and stuff, you probably left 65. So meaning you need about 35% deposit or 30% deposit. Unless of course you're servicing the interest payments yourself, then whatever the initial number is, all they'll minus off is the fees, so admin, arrangement fees is what they take off. But again, your broker will explain to you how that model works and what you can expect to see day one and what's required from your pocket to do the deal.
Do you mainly do develop and sell, or do you
HMOs.
HMOs you do?
Yeah, HMOs is all I do. So 6, 7 or 8 beds is more.
How are you?
I am good. I'm good.
It's good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah,
How
I'm
was
good.
your talk?
It was good.
Yeah? Especially out the car.
Yeah.
Good. How's it going?
Yeah, no, good, man.
Nice to finally meet you.
I know. This is Noah, guys.
Nice to meet you guys. And
mate, tell them what you do, what you're up to. Like, this guy does everything. He's a man of many talents.
yeah, whatever that needs to be sold, I'm the guy that does it. You know, property sales, you name it, insurance, you name it. You haven't bought any insurance. What's going on?
You know what? I need to, because you know the problem is.
Come on.
I've got a guy already that's gonna.
This is the only guy. This is the only guy you need to
you know what I mean,
remember.
guys?
So when you empty in your pockets, remember you got to give me a ring.
My guys, no insurance. So website wise, where can they find you?
Noahshort.co.uk. It's on the other side.
Cool.
There you go.
All right.
Only website to be on, guys, for all your property needs. Insurance needs, come to us. Luxury assets, come to us.
Yeah, just quick walk around, just see what's going on around here. Meet a few more faces. I know some people that will say they're going to be here, so I'm trying to try and find them. There's a lot of like these stands. There's loads of auction stuff like. I've been here once. Funny story. I used to when I first came here. I had a business card and I think it came with a leaflet. I was just dropping them on the chairs, just trying to raise investment. It's such a stupid thing at the time. I don't know why I did that, but I thought it would work. But no leads. Not even one lead came. Yeah, because I felt like first of all, what's the chance of someone? There's so much like papers and leaflets and
picking up
so
contacting you specifically.
It's people who collect the stuff and just take it home and don't really do anything with it in the end. So I feel like what truly engages someone is when you exchange contact. So if I meet someone, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I want to stay in contact with you. I'm literally WhatsApping you right there and there, so I know I can WhatsApp when I go in there. Exactly. Whereas if I take the card, chances are pocket gets chucked away.
Lost. You look at it, you can't even remember who the person was.
Exactly, and that is why you remember who the person was. So like,
well, at least getting your brand out there, man.
No.
These things.
Yeah.
Name, getting your
100%. So yeah, literally today I'm just here. I'm gonna see if I can meet a few people that I know I'm gonna be here, and then I'm gonna head out. By the way, bro,
honestly,
nice to meet you, man.
Thank you so much.
No worries, bro.
Understand how much I appreciate it, bro. For real. Keep
it's good, bro.
Real, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care. All right, guys. So
I hope you guys enjoyed the day. Met a few people, a few contacts that were shared as well. Feel free to reach out to them. Obviously, if you liked it, please hit that like and subscribe button, and also share the video out for me, please. But yeah, guys, that's it for today, and I'll see you next time on the next vlog. Take care.